scenes are exclusive for only the YouTuber 24 thing. That means he can upload it if he wants, and he can't get sued.
That's what I'm saying. Shush. Not all of the content belongs to YouTuber 24. What is being included in the documentary, he can probably sue for. But not all of it can he sue for. He can't.
You want to go upstairs?
Plus on top of that, there's also, in my opinion, copyright law. His contract is with Mcjuggernuggets.
Not Jesse Ridgway.
No. Listen. His contract is with Mcjuggernuggets. Not with Teresa Ridgway.
Not Jeffrey.
Not Jeffrey Ridgway Sr. Not Jeffrey Ridgway Jr.
Not even Larry.
Uncle Larry.
Hello.
Stop. Not Uncle Larry, not Tom, not Aunt Jackie, not Uncle Chris, not the ladies at the farm.
It's with
Garfunkel.
Mcjuggernuggets. Jesse Ridgway.
Exactly.
It's not even with Garfunkel.
Shush. Go ahead, hon. Hello.
It's not with it. As far as I didn't read the contract. I don't have a copy of it. I don't know nothing.
No.
But my thing is this. It's with Mcjuggernuggets, Jesse Ridgway. You know, and from what I've been told, because I don't watch his videos anymore, is that it's with him, nobody else.
Exactly. If YouTuber 24 wanted to release some of the content, it's with Mcjuggernuggets. That means he can only release content that has to do with Korn and whoever consented for the release, included in those back scene or behind the scenes stuff like that. Melissa, Georgie, blah blah blah. Did YouTuber 24 get agreements from the rest of the family and all the other people who were included in those scenes?
I don't know.
Therein lies the problem. Privacy issues. And if YouTuber 24 didn't get those consents from those people, does YouTuber 24 realize that there's a possibility that he could be sued? Now, granted, mind you, I am not a lawyer. I don't claim to be knowledgeable in the law. I could be wrong, which I'm notorious for. But here's the thing. YouTuber 24 is kind of walking a double standard. He's warning Jesse not to put out his own content on stuff that he could already have copyrighted for all YouTuber 24 news. And YouTuber 24 is trying to say that it's his content. No, it's not. You didn't film it. No. If it's time-stamped, dated, and on somebody, and
I'll be honest with you. Personally, if I'm recording something and it's before I sign a contract with you, it's my
mine.
shit.
It's mine. It's not yours. Sorry.
Unless the contract is specific, and I mean very specific as to what he can,
what he can and can't use.
Then, and again, I don't have a contract. I don't have the contract, so I can't read through it and say, oh well, yeah, he screwed up or whatever. But it comes out to this: unless that contract is literally word for word specific, and I'm not talking
itemized.
Michael just stole two 2 of my Egyptian God cards and my token card.
I'll talk to him.
Okay.
Connor, what did you just say?
Just,
He said I stole it, but that's
uh,
fine.
you know what?
I'll get to the bottom of it in a minute. Please, I'm trying to do something. Now, here's my thing. It all depends on what that contract says. Now, I can't make a judgment as to what that contract says. I really can't. For all I know, YouTuber 24 could be in the right. But it all depends on what that contract says. Say hi to Mouth. She's not paying you any mind because she wants to lay on me and snuggle me. Lay down. But it all depends on what that contract says. Am I wrong, hon? It all depends on what that contract
As far
says.
for contract law, I don't know shit about contract law, but I do
Neither
know
do I.
this: that contract law has to be specific. Okay, if it is obligatory, guess what? Obligatory portions of the contract favor Jesse, not YouTuber 24, whatever the hell his name is.
Brian.
It favors Jesse, not Brian. If it's specific, then it favors Brian, not Jesse. So it's one of those things. You gotta look at what, you know, it's everything has got to be in contract. It's got to be specific.
And here's my another thing. YouTuber 24, you ignorant cuss. And I'm saying you're ignorant. Flying a drone over somebody's private property, whether they find out or not?
Invasion of privacy.
Huh!
And actually, I do believe...
Regardless of whether
No,
Jesse knows or not.
No, I do believe in Jersey, where it happened, it's illegal.
Yeah! In this tri-state area of Jersey, Delaware, and
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Even including New York.
Yeah, flying a drone without consent
Or what's considered for spying purposes.
is illegal. And you did that. So as far as that's concerned, you can be sued for everything, dude. You want to sue Jesse? Jesse can get right back at you.
And no offense, ex-military here, so I'm going to say this. Maybe if Jesse looks into it, federal law would imply for domestic terrorism.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes.
the only reason to fly a drone without consent over someone's property
Is for stalking and for terroristic intentions.
No, it's not for stalking, but for general layout information so that you can sneak onto the property and do stuff. Not saying that it,
And it's regardless of whether Jesse found out who it was or not. You did it without consent. You did that without consent. You did it illegally. It was not, and as far as I could tell, flying that drone over his property without his consent, you're done. Your contract is out the window. Now, Jesse signing it after the drone was found out, okay, maybe the contract it may not be. But flying, as far as you violating his property by his privacy by flying that drone over his fence,
and
without his knowledge or consent, without his family's knowledge or consent, and it really doesn't have to be Jesse's knowledge and consent. It has to be Jeffrey Sr.'s because that's his property.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Jesse just lives there. The consent really needs to come from
Jeffrey Sr.
Jeffrey Sr. and his wife. Either one of those two can consent for that.
That
But-
has nothing to do with Jesse.
Nope.
And as far as you're concerned, Brian, YouTube 24, if you want to keep up with Jesse, that's fine. Be prepared to have another lawsuit from Jeffrey Sr. and Teresa. Terry, however she goes by. No disrespect. But you dug your own grave when you said, I want a lawsuit against Jesse. You're doing that by yourself. Jesse's got his whole family behind him. They can back him up. You're in the wrong on more than one thing. Jesse's in the wrong on one.
And then the real kicker is she watched the video of Jesse watching your video, and you freely admit to your lawyers that you flew a drone over his property.
Yup.
And he found out
That's a
after
confession.
the fact.
That's a confession. And you taped it. You taped your own confession. You taped your own confession, you dunce.
No offense. You shot yourself in the foot.
Regardless,
and you took your whole leg with it.
Regardless, if you would have kept that to yourself, if you would have turned your camera off while you were talking to your lawyers, that was lawyer-client privilege. That wouldn't have been released or anything. But you taped it and you put it on YouTube for the whole world to see. It's now public knowledge. You taped your own confession, dunce.
Stop.
So, I'm saying this. As far as you're dunce. You're a dunce. You shot yourself in the foot. I mean, again, I don't claim to be a lawyer. I don't claim to be contract, criminal, civil. I don't know that much about the law.
I'm done.
But I do know about some stuff. I have an inkling of what's going on. And Jesse, as far as I'm concerned, now correct me if you think I'm wrong. And mind you, this whole video is just opinion. But correct me if you think I'm wrong. Jesse was wrong in leaking your phone number, which was admitted. He admitted he was wrong in doing that, and he apologized.
It was not intentional.
And he apologized for it. Number 2, putting out scenes that may have to do with the documentary. I don't know if they have to do with the documentary or not, but he put them out, which is basically spoiling the documentary. But then there's copyright that has to go along with that. Does YouTuber 24 have the right to copyrighted content? I don't think he does. Now, the wrongs on Brian's part. Trying to take and lay claim to content and video footage of somebody else's work and saying it's his.
Unless it's specific in the contract.
It's not yours.
And as far as I'm concerned, if we're videotaping something, it don't belong to anybody but us. Even if we put it on the internet, it belongs to us. Nobody else. You can't turn around and say, oh, well, you know what? You put it on the internet, I can grab it and use it for free. Well, maybe you're right, but guess what? It belongs to us. So we could sue you if we wanted to.
Yep. Secondly, you said you're an amateur.
Who?
YouTuber 24.
An amateur documentarist with a $20,000 camera? And a film crew? We're amateurs. Using a phone.
Self-esteem.
And a phone.
That's amateur. You ain't no amateur.
Do I got 20 grand to put out for a decent camera? No.
No.
Do I even have like
200? to put out for a camera that can videotape. No, I ain't got that. I'm Paul. You ain't no amateur, dog.
And then somebody else actually did some research. I know Jesse. Jesse did some research in on you, but somebody else I know did some research in on you, and your ass is not amateur.
No, you have and I could be wrong, but you have other stuff out there.
You may have started off as an amateur documentarist.
But you're not an amateur now.
Not no more.
No, you're a professional. You are not amateur.
You get one documentary posted, you're still an amateur. You get a couple of them.
You ain't amateur anymore because you have the experience. You're not amateur.
Now you may not be a professional,
but you ain't an amateur.
You've got
okay. Let's
$1 billion budget to work with, but
you're mediocre at best. Not amateur. Self-esteem. That's amateur. $500 to $800 camera. That's amateur. Phone. That's amateur.
Actually, I'm going to say this. Phone is noob status, okay?
Yeah. Or in my case, really, really noob. But here's the other thing you shot yourself in the foot with. The drone. That's your big problem. The drone. That's your huge problem. Whether or not Jesse knew about it, whether or not you came to an agreement over it, the drone is your problem. The lawyers are going to say whatever they can say to get your money. Shh. The lawyers are going to say whatever they can say to you to get your money. So they're going to spin it nice and say, oh yeah, you've got a case. We think we can do this. Da 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 da. You're listening to them, meaning you're a sucker. I'm not saying Jesse's in the right. I'm not saying YouTuber 24 is in the right. But what I'm saying is, you're both wrong in one way, shape, or form, or point of aspect. But one of you is wrong more than the other. Point blank, period. One of you is more wrong than the other.
Okay. And on that note,
we've got stuff to deal with, y'all. So we're gonna end this video.
Yeah. So
get out of my screen.
Mom is furious.
So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, links below. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Again, this is an opinion and reaction video. This is not me saying I'm a lawyer and I know the law. I do not practice the law. My sister does, but I don't ask her for legal advice very often, so I really don't know anything. So I have inklings and I have suspicions, but this is no.
And of course, any advice we ever ask for is always hypothetical.
Yes. So
something like this, we'd ask about something like this, but
so in my opinion,
because it has nothing to do with
this is an opinion reaction video, if you will. Please, please, please do not take this as legal advice. Okay? Love you to the moon and back. Talk to you later. Bye.